Hi guys! So today's Friday, as I'm sure you all know. So I was thinking that I know a lot of you guys have your own designs that you really want to create and print out with a 3D printer, and I would really like to make that happen. However, we only have one 3D printer and we have a lot of kids. So here's the deal. Fridays, if you finish the projects that I'll show you after my little spiel here, it's a really easy one. Some of you probably already finished it. It's a gear project. All of these projects I teach you are to teach you different design strategies while you're designing digitally, okay? So it's really important to know these strategies to make your designs better, more complicated, cooler, all that kind of stuff, okay? So that's what I teach you during the regular week. If we do that, and you finish this little lesson I have after the spiel, this talk, then you can have free time on Tinkercad, okay? I would like to ask that whatever you create on your free time, you use the same file that you're going to create after I talk for the gear project, okay? Just use the same file because your name's already on it, and I think it will cut down on losing projects in the future, okay? So how we're going to decide whose Friday Fun Day project we print is we'll put everyone's name who came on Friday. That's why you should sign in right now. We'll put everyone's name in a hat. I'll pull one out and I'll print your project. So it's very important to, one, sign up today. Remember, on that little notepad you always sign up on? It should be near the computer. If you can't find it, ask Miss Turner. Sign up. Number 2, save your file in Tinkercad under your first and last name, okay? Okay, so that's how we're going to print your free time projects, okay guys? Other than that, this week we've been learning to make gears and holes. We're going to print everybody's gear project. So if you do finish a gear and you personalize it to look the way you want it to, I'll print it out for you, okay? And you can pick it up on Monday. And I'm hoping to showcase some of your gears on Sunday during open house. So if you're cool with that, it'd be amazing, okay? So just let me know or Miss Turner know, okay? Okay, so let's get started on today's lesson so we don't waste any more time, and then you can have some fun time after you complete it. For those who have already completed the lesson, please help the ones who haven't, and after you help them, go ahead and hop on, have some fun time, or finish designing your gears, okay? So guys, we only have 45 minutes to do this stuff, so let's be an engineering team kind of, okay? Okay, cool. So I'm going to show you what to do on the screen. If you get stuck or lost, don't forget to use Miss Turner or myself as a resource, or your classmates, or your friends around you, because they might have already done it before, or they might know to help you, okay? So utilize the people around you to understand things sometimes, okay? And please ask nicely, because that never hurt anybody. Okay, ready? So everyone needs to go into Tinkercad, www.tinkercad.com. Tinkercad's easier to manipulate on the computer, but if you only have an iPad, that's okay, okay? Just get started, and if you have trouble, ask Miss Turner or me or your friends, okay? So www.tinkercad.com. You should go, if you are not on this screen that I'm on, just click on this rainbow Tinkercad block, and it will go to this screen, okay? I'm signed in already, but if you're not signed in, let me sign out. Please enter in the username and password, as I will do right now after my slow computer loads. Yay! Okay, go up to the upper right, sign in. eTurner@sthilary's.com or .org is the username. It should already be in there. So you can just select it. And then the password is Hillary, H-I-L-A-R-Y, 765. Hillary 765. Okay? And then it should take it to the dashboard. Okay, so if you don't already have a gear project, if you do, go ahead and find it so you can finish it up if you want to finish it. If you don't already have one, create a new design, so click here. Okay, if you do already have one, find your project and click on it. When you click on it, go down to Tinker This, and you should be able to edit your project. Okay? For those of you who need to create a new design, and it will take you to your workspace screen interface. Okay, so first thing you need to do, always first thing, is go up to the upper left and rename your file. So how you do that is you just click on the funny phrase that's up there and it should highlight it all. Hit backspace or delete and type in your first, last name, type in gear, because that's what you're making right now. You're making a gear project. And then type in the month, January. I just type in Jan. So first, last name, gear, G-E-A-R, and the month, January, or Jan. Okay? And then hit enter to save your name. Let's talk about Tinkercad a little. To manipulate Tinkercad, you use this cube up here. So left click, hold, move your mouse around. Cool. Some of you can right click and hold your mouse on the screen and it will move around. Mine does it too. Thank you, Kristen, for showing that to me. So that's how you can move your screen around. You can also look at the bottom. You can look at the sides. You can look at the top. You know, all that stuff. You can also zoom in and out by using that scrolly thing on your mouse, or using 2 fingers on your iPad screen. So first thing I'd like you to do is look over on your right. There's a basic shapes toolbar where you can see all these basic shapes. There's 2 tools above that, your work plane tool and your ruler tool. So this is called your work plane. This blue square is your work plane. We'll talk about work planes in a little. But go ahead and drag out a cylinder. So left click, hold, drag, drop. Same thing with the box. Now you see whenever you select something that there's white squares that pop up. Let me zoom in on that. So remember, zoom in with 2 fingers. If you have something selected already, which means it's highlighted and you can see all these red little squares and this black arrow up there and these arrows over here, then you can actually go to your left and click on the Fit View to Selection, which is the button right under Home, and it will zoom in on that object. Now, I'd like you to notice that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 squares as you highlight an object. What these squares represent is the height. So change that to 4 for me, please. How you change the height is you click on the square at the top. The number should pop up. You click on the number, type in 4, hit enter. Next, change the length and the width. So you just click on one of the outer white squares on the side, and it shows you the length and the width. So I want the length to be 40, enter, and the width, remember to scroll out a little, re-click, to be 4, cool. Okay, now let's scroll out so we can see the cylinder, and then let's scroll into the cylinder and let's change the height to 4. Let's change the width and the length, i.e. the diameter, since it's a circle, right, to 32. So 32 on both sides. Don't forget to hit enter, otherwise it won't work. For those of you on the iPads, you probably will have to just adjust the size with your hands, with your fingers, by moving it up and down, because unfortunately the iPad has more limited controls than the computer, and that's why you see most designers designing on computers and not iPads, just as a aside. Okay, cool. So guys, next thing you need to do is you need to center this red rectangle onto your cylinder, okay? So how you move objects freely is by clicking on them and then left click and hold on a space that does not have any white blocks or black squares or the black arrow. The reason why is because if you click on those white squares, you'll resize your object again, and since you just sized it, you probably don't want to do that. Okay. Now just make sure it's centered, so that's where this cube comes in handy. You can move it onto the bottom, which is what I usually like to do, and if you double click on the bottom of the cube here, it will center and straighten the work plane for you, and just make sure it's on the center. I'm getting quite good at that. Okay, so next thing is you need to make the teeth of your gears. And if you don't know what gears, it's okay. Just ask Miss Turner or myself or your friend. But gears are in a lot of things. They're in robots. They're in printers. As who found that? Chance found that. As Chance found out, there's a lot of gears all over. They're in your 3D printer right now. So gears are important. Okay, so let's just make sure that's centered, and then I want you to click outside in the work plane, just in the empty space, and then re-click on your rectangle, red rectangle, and only on your red rectangle. Please don't also select your cylinder. If you think you have, just re-click into the empty space, which will deselect everything, and re-click on the red rectangle. After you click on the red rectangle, please go up to the upper left corner. You'll see this symbol right here with like a bunch of squares. That means duplicate, okay? So you can press this button to duplicate. You can also hit Control D, and you have to do that at the same time. So hold down Control and then click D to duplicate too. I usually just go to the button. I'm a very visual person. So I'm going to hit the button. It duplicates the red rectangle. You can't see the red rectangle that was duplicated because it's right on top of the original. So we don't want to move that yet, because I want you to move it a specific way, because we have to get teeth all around the cylinder and not just to the side of the cylinder, okay? So how you move things in a rotational motion is by using these arrows on the object. So do you see those arrows? There's 3 sets. There's one here, which moves it that way. There's one there, which moves it this way. And there's one here that moves it that way. It's a little confusing, so if you need to really examine those arrows, don't forget to zoom in. Don't forget to use your cube to look around, just like check yourself. So I want to move the duplicates around, so I'm going to use the arrow that's on the same plane, the same, same level as this work plane. Okay, I'm not going to use the ones floating above it. I'm going to use the one on the ground. So I'm going to move it over. Maybe that much. There you go. So that's the first 4 teeth. Now, the rectangles are already selected, so I can just hit duplicate again. And sometimes Tinkercad automatically generates another rotation for you with the duplicated rectangle. So I'm just going to finish that out, and I'm going to zoom out a little. And so you can see that's already a gear, right? But you're not done, because these are still multiple shapes. They're not one shape. And in order to send it to the 3D printer, you kind of want to make sure things are joined together as much as possible, unless you don't want to print them together, okay? So usually how you do that is go ahead and click into the empty space again, and then left click, hold, drag to select all of your shapes, and then you're going to go up to your left hand corner where you see the circle and square symbol joined together. That's called the grouping symbol. That joins shapes and holes together. So you're going to click on that, and it joins the whole gear together. Easy peasy. Next is the fun part, decorating. So decorating can come in a variety of things. You can drag out text. You can resize your text. Remember, change height, change width, change length. Oops, it disappeared into my gear. That's funny. That's okay. We can fix it by either using the arrow, the cone on the top and pulling it up, or by going to your work plane tool at your upper right, clicking and dragging it on top of your gear so you can just design on that work plane. See? And then whenever you click on this text basic shape, it usually has a box that pops up just like any other shape, and in that box you can change the text. I'm going to change it to my name, or I'm going to change it to love, and then I'm also going to turn this around because it's backwards. And I'm going to turn around again. Oops. I see. Okay. Huh. This is hard. There we go. Okay. Sorry, it took so long. There we go, love, and then if I want to put a heart on it, I can put a heart, because there's a heart shape. Now in Tinkercad, you don't just have shapes, you also have holes. So let's say I want to engrave this heart onto my gear and not make it pop out at the top. How I do that is I would move the heart down by using the cone on the top into the gear, and then I go up to the box that always pops up whenever you select a shape, and I'd select hole instead of solid. It'll change it into hole, and then I'll go ahead and click again, left click, hold, drag over all the shapes, group, and there you go. Do you see how this is engraved into the gear and this love word is popping out? So there's many different ways that you can change the way you decorate your gear. There you go. Okay, so after you've made a gear, don't forget to have first, last name, gear, and the month up there at the upper left where the name is, and then go ahead and have some free fun time where you practice the skills you learned today and throughout the week on your own designs and creations, and I'm very excited to see what you'll make, and thank you so much.